Good evening, everybody. This is going to be an instructional video on how to properly tie a bow tie. Before I start here, I'm just going to go over a few things about what I'm wearing and parts of the bow tie that are going to come up later in the video. First thing is that right now I'm wearing a tuxedo shirt, most identifiable with the ruffles, which I don't know if are showing up in the lighting here, or the type of collar here with the little wings on them, and not the fold down collar that you usually see on dress shirts that people wear with suits as opposed to tuxedos. The next thing is I'm going to identify parts of the bow tie that you would fold at, and we'll go over the folding steps later, as I'm going to show you how to tie a bow tie. But typically, when you go to fold it to make the bow shape, which we will get to later, you want to grab it about halfway between this curve right here. So you see the whole curve goes from this little hourglass shape here up to the top here. You want to grab it about halfway, and this is the part that you're going to pinch and fold into to make the shape of a bow tie. Get a little bit closer here and show you guys. So about halfway through the hourglass shape here, or if you prefer to think of this as more of a fish shape, about halfway down the fish's head. A couple other things is just to clarify what side of me you're looking at. This is my right side, so this would be your right side when tying this tie, and this is the left side. Okay, so to start here, you're going to want to make the left side of your bow tie longer than your right side. So go ahead and pull that down. A good way to judge this is if you can get the side of this fish's head to line up with the crook in this fish. So you see, they kind of line up like that. Seems like. Alright. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the longer side and you're going to put it over the shorter side, to where the skinnier part of the tie here goes right over this other fish's head. Then you're going to pinch where they intersect, just like this. A little bit closer, show you guys. Then you're going to take the longer side that you wrapped over top of the shorter side and put it through the back and pull it up through the top, making a basic knot, much like tying your shoes. Then you're going to want to pull that tight against, well, it's not tight, but snug against your collar. And then just for right now, go ahead and take this and lay it over your right shoulder. Again, right shoulder, so it should end up on the right side of your body. Then this is where we grab halfway through the fish's head and fold it into that bow shape. Looks like this. Come a little closer, show you guys. Should have a slightly bow shape here, and I'll go ahead and just move my other hand to show you what the other side of that looks like. Okay. Now I'll show you a little closer too, just so you can see what I did. So you can see that this is laying flat against your chest. You're going to want to go across it with your left hand, grab this side of the bow tie, pull it up towards your left shoulder, while bringing the tail end here up towards your right shoulder. This will give you your bow shape. Now you can see the little crook here of the fish's back to the head, or the fish's tail up to the head. This is going to be your next folding point to help create the shape of your bow tie. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to hold this here with your left hand, grab the tie end off of your right shoulder, and bring it straight down across the middle of the bow shape. So it'll look much like this. And again, try to pull it tight enough to where the skinnier part of the tie is coming right across the middle of the bow. Now what we're going to do is going to be probably the trickier part of folding this tie. You're going to take both tie ends, so this one right here, which is my left hand, and this one right here, which is in my right hand, and fold them across, kind of like a taco. Now if you grab them and pull down on the part that's hanging there, and just kind of pull on this part as well, you'll bring it more snug. You'll bring a more snug shape to your bow tie. Now this part is very important here. If you were to pull on the folded part up just a little bit and take your finger directly behind the knot you just made, you should find a hole. You see my finger sticking right through there? I'll give you a side view real quick to see if we can see it. You see that hole right there? This is what you're going to push the hanging part here through to help hold your bow tie together. This will complete the knot. Okay. Now, a very important part of tying your bow tie is that you need to have one loop on either side of the tie. You can't have both loops on the same side. So if we go back and look at the folded part, we can see here that this loop is on the left side. So we need one on the right side. You're going to grab this other fish here about halfway down its head at the same point that we folded the other fish in to make the bow shape. You're going to bring it up to the left side, and you're going to try to push that halfway point through that hole behind the knot. Now you have to push the whole head of the fish through this hole so it'll sustain its shape. That way when you let your hand go, it doesn't fall back out. You see how the tail's just sitting over here? This is about a fourth of your bow tie. Now if we look over here, we can see that this other loop is really, really scrunched up and messy. So what you're going to want to do is just straighten it out, flatten out that loop, go ahead and grab the tail end here so you don't accidentally pull the whole side through the knot, and just go ahead and shove your finger down that loophole right there. This will help straighten it out and give it a nice bow shape. Now from here you're going to want to tighten your bow tie, because you can see this is pretty loose around my neck. See, my thumb can go right through there with no problem. There's a lot of slack. To do this, what you're going to want to do is let down that other tail back to the other side of the bow tie, and as you can see we already have a pretty basic shape of a bow tie here, but the knot is a little sloppy. It's really loose, not the desirable shape for a bow tie. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab both loops. If you've also done this correctly, you'll notice that one loop is in front of the tail while the other loop is behind the tail. You're going to want to grab both of those loops, and you're going to want to pull on the front side of either one, well, both of them. Pull on the front side of both of them, and this will tighten up your knot and tighten the tie around your neck. Another thing you'll notice here is that you can see that this loop is sticking out farther past this tail. Now this other tail back here is sticking out, is behind this loop here, but that's really what's supposed to happen, so you can't really see it. You see, so we want to even these out. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold this knot with your fingers very tightly, because if you pull on it without holding the knot, the bow tie will come apart. So go ahead and grab that knot and just, as hard as you need to, really, just pull this tail a little bit so you can even it out. And as you can see, we have a pretty good looking bow tie. Alright, and it's not going to come out the same way every time. Like, this tail's not going to be shorter than this loop every time. So really you're going to want to pull on each component of the bow tie to adjust it as needed to where the tail and loop on each side of the bow tie is even. And then typically what you're going to want to make sure you do here is, if you're wearing a tuck shirt like I am, you're going to want to make sure that the tails of the tuck shirt are behind the bow tie. Much like this. And that is how you tie a bow tie. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned how to do it.